Oh, and we are live. That was quick. Welcome back, everybody, to Behind the ToolBelt, episode 310. I am your host, Cobb Backer, and we will be back. Actually, hang on. Welcome to this Wednesday edition. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but we will be back after our short intro from our sponsors.
Is your lead flow down? Whether you're a company owner, office staff, salesperson, or installer, you're a roofing rock star. We help you get more leads with custom SEO, Google Ads, and a pro website.
Welcome to Behind the ToolBelt, where the stories are bold, the conversations are real, and the insights come to you live, raw, and uncut. Every week, host Cobb Backer sits down to bring you the stories, the struggles, the lessons learned, and the wins. No filters, no scripts, just the truth. Please welcome your host of Behind the ToolBelt, Cobb Backer.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Behind the ToolBelt, the show where we build people, businesses, and building a legacy. I am your host, Ty Backer, and I am also a fellow traveler on this journey we call growth, leadership, and doing business the right way. And today is a big one. It's episode 310. We're 2 weeks away from 6 years, 6 times 52 weeks in a year. It's a big one. So 310, getting all bedazzled here, bedazzlement with my Gouda cheese and crackers. A little bit of wine with that. Anyhow, we're going to dive into, I think, one of the most powerful business secrets that has helped us grow over the years. And so if you're in the roofing space, home improvement, landscaping, rental, solar, any business that relies on people, and or businesses, whether you do, door to door, B2B, whatever, it all pretty much is people dependent. So this episode, I'm gonna try to give you the roadmap to building a network. We've talked about network, but I want to dig in a little deeper on network, referrals, all that stuff, because we've kind of been on that kick for the past couple of weeks. We've done some things where we did trunk or treats. Okay. And I'm going to use that as an example. So the first one that we attended, Dottie's, man, that thing was off the freaking chain. There was, I don't even know, 3, 4, maybe potentially more 1,000 people at that. We had a pickup truck there. We threw some hay bales. We had the old smoke machine out there, and it was free. It's free to enter. And then the second one, we actually ended up winning like first place for best trunk, the bed of the truck. And the amount of touch points that we generated, and in our local community, thousands, and within the matter of 10 business days. And from that second one, we got a pretty good referral for community building that actually, I believe, hosted the trunk or treat. We had a referral come in. that Ben and our carpenters go out. They want these big porches, these reverse gables built over the doorways, and it's a good one that somebody, you know, within the community that has a facility in our community that provides a lot of services for our town here in Dover and in New York areas. Now, it's a community center, it's a library, the fire department's out front. So it's to me it's a pretty big deal. And not that we don't handle all of our referrals with, you know, with delicacy, but particularly this one is pretty big deal. And so for the amount of time and effort that went into it, it was well worth it. And, you know, a lot of people may have thought, you know, man, they go over and beyond the hours and the time that goes into something like that, especially at the home shows. It's worth it. It's worth our time. That's the most valuable thing, most precious, most valuable that you can't even put a value on it. To the amount of work. And that's, you know, when we've talked about before, outworking everybody, that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like we're not saying how hard we're working. We went out there and we performed, we hosted, or not hosted, but participated in the trunk or treats, the home and garden show that's coming up. So sit back, relax, and take it in, take some notes. If you got any questions, please put them in the comment section. And I'll be more than happy. If I don't answer them here, I'll get on and I'll answer them for you guys. But if you're in any of these spaces that rely on people, this episode is going to be, you know, the roadmap to building a network so strong that your pipeline should and couldn't or shouldn't run dry. And you know, and the importance of, you know, building a brand, a reputation, and a network. So for all things equal, okay, people do business and refer business, okay, to people they know, like, and trust. And we talk about that, but there's a key component there. Like, yeah, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. But let's talk about the referral aspect of that, right? I'm not going to refer somebody that I don't know, like, or trust, especially trust. I may know them, I know of them. I'm not aware of what type of quality of work that they do. And I may even say that if I do refer somebody, like, yeah, I see these guys all over the place, you know, but that's step one, right? Is that omnipresence, that touch point, right? Because if they see you long enough, their natural instinct, I believe, is that they're going to trust you, right? They see you everywhere. Like, how are they so successful? How are they everywhere if they're doing something wrong? They obviously have to be doing something right. I feel like I'm yelling into the microphone here. It might be just my headphones are down a little bit. You don't have to turn them up, Vic. I'm fine. As long as you can hear me, I'm good. Okay, good. Sorry. It's dry in here. You know, and again, I'm not perfect at any of these things. I've stumbled across them. I've read, done some research, and I'm still learning. Like I mentioned, I'm on this journey, the trail to personal and professional development, and continuously learning things along the way. And that's really what I want to make the podcast about, is sharing my experiences with you guys and bringing on some kick-ass guests and things like that, and how we've done it. I think that, you know, our mission is to become a household name. And I think we're really, the momentum is definitely in that direction of us, you know, creating that omnipresence. And I like to share how we did things and give our team some props and shout outs and, you know, things like that. But the key part there is, you know, people want to do business with those that they know, like, and trust, but also refer. And a great example of that would be Zach Fisher, who's on here, who refers us because he knows us, he loves us, right? And he trusts us, thankfully, you know. So I can't say enough about the know, like, and trust. And how do you do that? How do you get somebody to know, like, and trust you? You know, and this here, I think, is the part that most people miss, is none of this happens by accident, right? We live in a world where people are starving for real connection. Okay. Real authenticity, not fake networking. Right. And here, like, here's my business card, um, um, uh, call me if you ever need a roof. You know what I mean? That's not authentic, right? People want authenticity, like, who gives a shit about what you do? And every opportunity is an opportunity to network. And I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago on the show. You could be in the line at McDonald's, okay, and that's going to be your reputation, okay? If you're that person that's impatient, okay, and a lot of times I'll forget that I have something on my chest. I'll forget a lot of times that I'm driving in a vehicle that's branded, and I'll catch myself speeding. I'll catch myself being very impatient at a light, blowing the horn, things of that nature. So every opportunity is a brand awareness opportunity. Doesn't matter if that idiot standing in the back of the line, raising hell and showing his butt to, and that's the thing that I've had to learn over the years, is that everyone's watching, right? Everyone's watching. Everyone's got their phone out. Everyone's ready to hit the record button. And hopefully it's something good. And that's the problem with the world today, is that everybody wants that drama, and everybody wants that bad stuff that they want to post on social media, because unfortunately they feel less than, right? And they need that dopamine shot. So they're going to post some bullshit on social media of somebody doing something wrong. And it's like, and as far as I'm concerned, you're throwing stones at a glass house. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have the balls to throw somebody under the bus and socially assassinate them, on social media. So anyhow, enough about that. So nobody wants that fake stuff, right? They want that genuine, authentic, care, value. How are you going to make their lives better? And if you can master relationships, your business will become unstoppable. If you can master relationships in sales, if you can master relationships at home, if you can master relationships, all of these things will grow. All of this applies. Everything I'm going to talk about today, if I can stay on track, will apply to your professional, your personal, your children's, your wives, your coworkers, relationships. It will bring value, right? If you walk into a room, the first thought that should go through your head is I'm going to pick somebody out of the crowd and I'm going to bring value to their life. Now, I do know it's a hard paradigm to shift. I get it. We are born selfish and self-centered. I mean, look at an infant. They cry, and they cry, and they cry, and they cry, and cry until they get whatever it is that they want. They don't know any better. We don't know any better until our brain starts to fully develop into the human being that we are today. It's somewhere along the line. Hopefully that switch happens where you stop becoming so selfish and self-centered, where it becomes all about me, 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 me. I'm going to cry until I get what I want. I'm going to stomp my feet in line at McDonald's until they call my number, yada, yada, yada. And the world has become that. So if you can master relationships, okay, things will go a lot easier, because no algorithm, no platform changes, no competition can take away real human, keyword here, loyalty. Okay. I can't count on both hands and feet the amount of clients, customers, homeowners, builders that we started out, when we started out in business, that we still do business with those same customers, clients, partners that have actually become partners today because of loyalty. Why? It's because how we made them feel. They know us, they like us, they trust us. Now, I'm not saying that we've been perfect. Things happened, but it's how we dealt with those situations that mattered. And I'm going to give you, I'm going to share a story, okay? Because some of this, and I swear, if every salesperson, every entrepreneur, every technician could learn this, we would double in business. We would double in size. We would absolutely double in size. And it was a couple months ago, whatever, a gentleman walked in the front door here, and I had no idea who he was. And I was there. It happened to be a homeowner that was dropping off final check. And so I thought I'd go out there and I'd talk to him for a little bit. And now, granted, most of you might think that the sale was over. Okay. Sale is never over, by the way. And we are all salespeople, one way, shape, or form. Think about that. So why is it every time this time of day I get spam calls out the butt? So this nice gentleman walks in. He was a big dude, big older fella, and he came in. And I was like, "Hey, I'm Ty." And he's like, "Oh man, it's great to meet you." And you know, and through social presence and things like that, he that's how he found us. And I asked him a couple questions, like, you know, how did you hear about us? And he's like, "Oh man, I've seen your podcast and I see your trucks everywhere and your billboards and stuff. And your team did an amazing job." So I asked him a couple questions, and one of the questions that I asked him was, and he started telling me he owns a business. He's retired today, and so I was asking him some questions, and one of the big ones that I asked him was, I was like, you know, how did you start your business? And I love it when people ask me that question because I love telling my story. Okay. And now, mind you, this turned into what he thought would probably be a 5-minute, you know, I'm going to drop a check off, get my final invoice and stuff like that. But it turned into a genuine, authentic conversation. And I really, truly wanted to know, you know, how did the business get started? And he actually worked for the company and had the opportunity to buy out the existing owners. It was a pretty cool story, you know, and he loved, you could just see him light up. And I asked him, I said to him, I was like, what did you enjoy most about it when you know, you were still working day to day? And he said, you know, I enjoyed getting out in the field. They built machinery and it was manufacturing stuff like that. He's like, you know, I spent so many years, you know, on the floor, and I spent so many years up in the office. He's like, you know, when I finally got myself into a position where, you know, not that he could do whatever he wanted, but where he got himself in a pretty comfortable position where he could kind of pick and choose what he did throughout the course of the day. He said that he'd like to get out in the field with the teams that were installing these things and show them how to do this stuff. Because that's where he got his true joy. And he said to me, and it's something that I kind of live by too. He's like, you know, what I was taught was meant to be taught. So what he had learned over the years was meant to be taught. So he wanted to pass on his trade to those people, his coworkers and co-leaders, of all the things, the tricks of the trade, you know, especially out in the field, and how to deal with customers and the experience that the customer should be experiencing from the team, and how impressed he was with his team. But that's where he found his true joy. So after it was all said and done, and it was, like I said, 45 minutes had passed, and he said to me, he's like, anybody that I know, I am going to refer to you guys. He was like, the experience from when, you know, the first touch point when he called us, it was pleasant. The gentleman that came out to visit him and did the inspection on his property, and the team that went out and did the work. And he said, now he's like this. He said, it was just so nice to come in here. He's like, I didn't know what to expect when I came in there. He's like, I see this big bright building outside, and you know, it was just nice to meet the owner, that the owner's here every day working. And just like I did, like we could relate on that level. You know, I met him where he was and he met me where I was. And it was just a real authentic, genuine conversation that we had. And you know, I guess if anything, if one of the biggest messages that I can leave with you guys is if we want more, we have to give more. And that's where it's at. People think, right, referrals are about asking. Yes, yeah, of course. We train our team to ask for referrals. It is. But 90% of referrals happen because of how we make people feel. Was the point of the story. It's how we made him feel throughout the entire journey. I don't know how well the job went. I really, truly don't. But if it didn't, if we left a nail in the driveway and he ended up getting a flat tire, I don't know because he didn't bring it up to me. But I can tell you this, it was how I made him feel. That was his lasting impression. I can guarantee it. And I can guarantee anybody ever needs a roof, he's going to refer us, hands down. So the more you position yourself as a giver, the more people naturally want to help you in return. Not because they owe you, because helping you just feels right. You know what I mean? It just felt right to him. Like, yeah, I'm gonna. And he was another business owner, that homeowner that owned, a business at one point in time. So anyhow, in the roofing space, particularly in the roofing space, we have to give homeowners clarity. Okay, we have to sometimes educate them. We have to give them transparency, peace of mind, and good communication. And I think that's where a lot of us, and I know I failed in any of these things. I fail on a day-to-day basis. However, I do try to work on it, and I review my night. I review my day every night to see where I could do better. And I wish that I could say I had more wins throughout the course of the day on any given day. But we're working on it, right? We're all traveling on this journey together. And in leadership, okay, we have to make sure that we're giving, our team the belief, the purpose, and the tools to win. And I honestly believe in that circumstance with that gentleman that came in to visit us to drop off his final payment, I believe the team had the belief. I believe the team knew the purpose. I believe the team had the tools to win, right? The message has been articulated well enough. That gentleman felt the warm fuzzies before he left here. And it's about give, and the referrals flow naturally. Okay. We have to give more than we receive. And so I want you to imagine something. Okay. Imagine you're not a salesperson. Imagine yourself being a connector. Imagine yourself being a guide. Imagine yourself being the helper. Okay. And here's what this looks like. Okay. If you walk into a room, any room, like I said, McDonald's, networking, office. Okay. You should be thinking, who can I help? You walk into a homeowner's home. You should be thinking to yourself, when you got that appointment and that appointment set, the first thing that should go through your mind is, okay, I'm going to figure out what their pain point is. Okay. And what can I do to fix it? Okay. You meet someone new and you think, how can I bring value to them? Okay. The moment you shift from what I can get to what I can give, your business, your relationship, your life transforms. Okay. And I would like to think on most days that I try to lead by example of giving, right? If anybody who's ever worked here or works here or has hung around long enough knows that we are about giving more than we receive in payment. And that is one way that we've been able to build, trust. People know us and they like us. If not, hopefully they love us like Zach Fisher does. Blood, sweat, and tears, grit will always be my people. That's right. You too, buddy. Love you. Sorry, it's dry in here, boy. So if you're about building a reputation, okay, your personal brand, not through hype, even though I like hype, okay, but through continuous or consistent value, okay, you must become the person who follows up professionally, Okay. Shows up on time, honors their word, makes people feel important. Okay. And stays on top of their mind. Okay. Without being annoying. Okay. That means following up. Okay. Now, on any given day, I'll fail miserably at all 5 of these things. On any given day, I will be rocking on all 8 cylinders. Some days I only hit half of them. Right. But now that these are on the forefront of my mind, showing up professionally, showing up on time, honoring my word, making people feel important. Okay. And following up. Essentially, that's one of the ingredients of being and staying successful for the long term. And for contractors, salespeople, leaders, this is gold. I mean, this is gold. We hear it all the time. And hopefully I'm breaking it down in layman's terms, the way that I can understand things. And hopefully I'm articulating this in a way that you guys can understand this, because most of our industry is built on low trust. Unfortunately, the roofing industry, the trades, landscaping. I'm seeing some dude right now just getting demolished on social media. Landscaping company, I think, I don't know, some kind of contracting, construction. I have no idea, but this dude is getting just assassinated, man. And it really kind of sucks to see that, because there's always 2 sides to every story, right? And if anybody knows this person, I'm sure they know what's up. So, but if you're reliable, you're honest, you're respectful, and you're helpful, you've already separated yourself from your competition, and things will change so unbelievably fast when you just suit up, show up, do what you say you're going to do, be mindful, be helpful. Okay. And follow up, and honestly, in that one sentence, it could probably create a freaking book out of that. But anyhow, here's my favorite part. Here's my favorite part. Okay. And I use this in our own business, right? In my coaching and my personal relationship is, simple transition line when you're networking or having a real conversation is, you ask them, like, if I may ask, how do I know if someone I'm talking to would be a good fit for a referral for you? Okay. And when you do that, that one flips the entire game. That one sentence, sorry, and I'll repeat that. How do I know if someone I'm talking to would be a good fit to refer your way? Okay. Not many people ask that question to other people. What do you do for a living? Oh, I sell pretzels down on the street corner. Oh, okay. So what are your hours of operation? Okay, I'm here from 11 to 3 o'clock. Okay, great. I love your pretzels. I love the mustard, the homemade mustard. I love the sea salt that you're using on these things. Okay, I'm going to refer. So anybody that I know that likes salt, anybody that I know that likes mustard, anybody that I know that likes pretzels, I'm going to refer to you because these are the best pretzels. I become one of their biggest cheerleaders. Okay. So now that anybody that I run into, I know Jana likes pretzels. I know Rocket likes pretzels. So that's my point. So the next time you're with somebody, ask them who would be the ideal referral for them, because nobody ever asks that. Okay. Then that one line there makes you unforgettable. Whether they need your service or not. They're like, man, that dude, Ty Backer, man, that owns that roofing company over there. He's already referred me 5 other clients that came down here and bought dozens of pretzels for me down on the corner on Sunday afternoon when I was blah, 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 whatever. Anyhow, it shows that you care. It shows that you care about their success, not just your own. Practice it. It's something you can practice, skill. Okay. Use it. I promise it will change your life. It'll change your business. And so here's bottom line. It's not just about networking. It's about how to become a better human being. Really, at the end of the day, that's all it is. Love this topic, by the way. So when you focus on connection and adding value, making people feel understood, okay, being a giver, okay, referrals stop being random, okay, they become predictable, they become consistent, and hopefully they become endless as long as you continuously suit up and show up. You know, and in our industry, roofing, construction, home services, that's everything. Everything that I had mentioned for the past 10 minutes, man, that if you want to succeed in our business, when the phone rings, answer it. Run the appointment, get them a quote, do the job, do it to the best of your ability, give them as much value. Have them feel like they've received more value than what they've paid you. And it's really not hard. A lot of it has to do with what's happening here. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with what's on that estimate sheet. Most of it is how you handled them, how you treated them, and how you made them feel before you left there. If they go with you and trust you, know you, and like you. Okay. So what did you do? How did you make them feel? Did you find the pain? Did you find a solution? Did you give them a solution to their problem? You gave value to them. So, anywho, what time is it? How are we doing here? About 31 minutes into it. Anyhow, I think I'm going to wrap this one up. I hope today's episode brought you value, as much value as it has to me on this journey that I'm on, and the books that I'm reading, and all the good stuff. So I hope it gave you, the tools, so some tools that you could add into your toolbox, and I hope that it inspired you to build a deeper relationships that last a lifetime. So thank you for listening to episode 310 Behind the Tool Belt. If this episode helped you, share it with your team, your friends, and or someone who's out there trying to grow, which I know a lot of you guys and gals are out there. So make sure you follow the show, leave us a review, connect with us on social. Okay. We're on social all the time, so we can keep bringing energy, clarity, and leadership to the industry. I'm Ty Backer, signing off. Until next time, stay inspired, stay